Well, I will be very blunt, and I must mention that since the beginning of summer, Russia has launched more than 2,000 assaults of a different kind against the Sumy region, which is bordering with Kursk region, where Ukrainian brave army was forced to create sort of a buffer zone. So demilitarize this zone to make it safer. And I would like to also mention, according to what the correspondent said, we completely adhere to international humanitarian law. So according to what has been said yesterday at the meeting with ministers headed by President Zelensky, we are supplying those civilians who are remaining at the Kursk territory with food, medication, with everything which is needed, and of course, the corridors for evacuation to both Russia and Ukraine. Most importantly, to say that indeed yesterday our army has moved with several extra kilometers towards the depths of Russia, taking in captivity the around 100 prisoners of war. And this is very important, how we treat them with regards to international humanitarian law and how they're being mistreated on the Russian side. We do hope that the next swap will be organized very soon. And I have to mention that Russia is taking civilians as hostages, which is a complete nonsense. Of course, currently, and this night was not very peaceful at all for many regions. From the Kursk region, Russia tried to launch again drones and other things to target Ukraine. Well, we are observing, we hear the different, sides, but for sure, Ukraine is on the side of settling it down on the based on international law. And we see, and we've heard the soldiers said that Russian soldiers just ran away, leaving their guns and trying to save their lives.
And overall, Maria, has this last week and a half of the Ukrainian incursion into Russia made Ukrainians feel good, feel confident?
Well, in some regions, like for instance in Kharkiv region, it became more peaceful, I must say. Nevertheless, of course, shelling continue. We are now having a siren and alarm. So I must say this keeps the morale of the fact that Russian army is not the second bravest, largest, and most advanced in the world. This also sends a very clear message to all our allies in NATO, all our Western allies in G7, that we really need this long-range weaponry. So we would not be forced to create this buffer zones. We would just target those places from where Russian airplanes are starting their way, Russian missiles, etc., dealing only with military targets, unlike Russia continues to target schools, medical facilities, other civilian spots in different regions of Ukraine. Therefore, we need long-range weaponry, and we hope this decision will arrive very soon.
I guess, obviously, you're aware that the UK is allowing its weapons that it's given Ukraine to be used onto Russian soil. Are they taking a lead in that regard, or is it still not enough? As you're saying, you want longer range options too.
We definitely want to thank the government, the people, the Parliament of UK, and the fact that you are paving the way. You're showing how it has to be done with no, dragging the leg in decisions. But of course, we need more of such also on the side of the US and other partners, because sometimes it's a collective decision to be made. Surely, every day of such a waiting for us means losses of life of military and civilians. And I think with this operation, with creating of this sort of buffer zone, we show the capacity, how specific we can be on the battlefield, and of course, how tactically we can create plans and fulfill them. And I think everyone who's observing that is absolutely fascinated. But yet again, thank you for this opportunity to raise the issue of the long range, and that we are really much looking forward for this decision to be made ASAP.
Maria Mezentseva, thank you so much for joining us.